Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be, there is a price to pay to acquire the knowledge. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please subscribe. So I'll jump right into it. The knowledge, what is it? It is the knowledge about the narcissistic relationship. It is the knowledge about something that you did not know existed in the past. You're getting the wisdom and the knowledge now, and you are now putting together your experiences with the actual information, and you're understanding that, yeah, narcissism is prevalent on this planet. But this information and the knowledge and the wisdom, it comes with a very steep price tag. And we know, many of us know what that is. I will jump into what it is right now. The price to pay for the knowledge, it is many things, including your time, your energy, your love, your growth, your understanding, your determination, your commitment, your devotion. You're being resolute, you're being focused on what's going on around you, your awareness. When all these things and many more take place with you post-narcissistic relationship, or even throughout the relationship, essentially when you find my channel, when that happens, what you do is you go through an awakening, if you will. You go down the rabbit hole on toxic behavior, i.e. a narcissistic relationship. You have to really understand and wrap your head around not only the glossary and the terms and definitions of what encompass the narcissistic relationship, but you have to really be authentic with yourself and perhaps even practice radical acceptance and understand that this affected you for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship. Now, I mentioned these things and many more frequently on the channel. It's to reinforce that, in fact, if you made it out of the narcissistic relationship, you are one of the fortunate ones, whether you know it or not. Many people do not get out of the relationship. Many people don't make it, if you get my point. Other people stay stuck in that zombie-like, trance-like state in the narcissistic fog where they're being devalued and they don't believe that they can exist without the narcissist. That is a spell that the narcissist has placed upon them. Believe me when I tell you, I don't say it lightly. It's true. The idea post-narcissistic relationship, or when you get the wisdom, is to apply the tools and to apply your experience and other people's experiences in the community, in the comments section, and understand that if I made it, the person creating this video, and many of us did make it that are in the community, and many of us are making it, then you too can make it. But there will be a price to pay. Some of the price to pay will be relationships. Example, let's say you fell in love with the narcissist. Well, you now know that the narcissist can't fall in love with you. They have no love, they have no empathy within them. What they are empty shells, empty vessels, if you will, that need a supply source, a fuel source, which was you. They need people. They need to extract people's resources from them, unsuspecting individuals who perhaps even married the narcissist or went into business with them or moved or relocated or started a job, whatever they did with them. But the narcissist knew what they were going to do to this individual, which is you, the person watching the video. They knew what they were going to do to you throughout the whole relationship. They kept pressing on the gas pedal more and more. They never laid off the gas and hit the brakes. No, they go at light speed. They go full speed ahead or no speed at all. Remember, with everything with the narcissist, it's black or white. It's good or bad. You're in or you're out. These kind of things. They don't have a gray area. There's no gray area in the narcissistic relationship. It's full throttle, speed ahead. But the price to pay to acquire the knowledge, again, maybe your support system, who you thought would be there for you when you got discarded, they disappeared rather quickly, didn't they? Of course they did, because number one, they probably couldn't wrap their head around narcissism. Number two, maybe you didn't even know what it was at the time. Number three, many people will sit on the sidelines, grab their popcorn and a bottle of water and watch the destruction happen from afar. They will. What that leads me to the next point. Understanding, one of the prices to pay to acquire the knowledge is to understand that many people don't have your best interest at heart. They may say that they do. They may appear that they do. But when the chips are down, do they really have your best interest at heart? Probably not. Now, I'm not saying that everybody doesn't have your best interest at heart. I'm saying that perhaps before you were discarded or the relationship ended, you believed that people wanted you to do well and they were in your corner. Nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is that reality punched you in the face. Sorry to be graphic or dramatic, but it's real. When you got discarded, you had to pick yourself up by the bootstraps, dust yourself off, and understand that, hey, no one's going to come knocking on your door to save you. No one's going to check in on you. No one's going to even care if you exist. Not trying to trigger you, just letting you know That's why you have to do the healing and the inner work yourself. Now keep in mind, another price to pay to acquire the knowledge is to understand that you are the priority. It's not the narcissist. It's never been the narcissist. The narcissist manipulated you into believing that you needed them. Really get this. The truth of the matter is the narcissist needed you. Do they need you now? No, of course not. They have a new supply or new sources of supply by now. But the narcissist just goes on from town to town, city to city, relationship to relationship, looking for people that don't have the wisdom or the knowledge for this video. Another price to pay to acquire the knowledge will be not only understanding that you're the priority, but you're going to have to really dig in deep within yourself. You're going to have to process perhaps childhood wounds, understand if you were a people pleaser, or if you were a yes person, or if you could or could not say no, the strongest word in the English language. And remember, when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. It is very important you get that message. Another price to pay will be the blown up relationships. Let's say you are a mom or a dad and you are now divorced from the narcissist, and perhaps you can't see your kids because parental alienation is taking place. Well, that is a challenging pill to swallow. That deserves its own series, but I'm letting you know that that is another thing that you will have to process, that the narcissist will play the system. They will game the system any way they possibly can to make sure you don't see the kids. And parental alienation is one way they do it. Many times the narcissist, when you had children together, let's say you married the narcissist, now you're divorced and you're trying to get custody for the kids. Well, remember, many times the narcissist will dwindle that down to time frames when you are unavailable, meaning, let's say you have a 9-to-5 job. Well, they'll say you can see the kids at a certain date and hour, emphasize hour, but you can't even make that date and hour because you're working or you have to pay the bills. So they'll make it so that you can't even attend that. But that's for a whole different video, like I said. But that's a price to pay to acquire the knowledge that, in fact, the person that you fell in love with, they couldn't love you. And they want to weaponize anything they can against you. Anything that is of importance to you, they will weaponize against you, which includes children. It includes your house, your tangible assets, your money, certainly your time. They will do anything they possibly can to disrupt your energy. And you may say to yourself, well, why? Why would somebody do that? I'll tell you why. Number one, because they can. Number two, because most likely you're an empath or a kind, loving individual. And number three, up until this point, you didn't even realize what you were up against, meaning a narcissist or a toxic individual. You just thought that perhaps things just shifted a little bit and they changed in the relationship. And after you were married, just things settled down a little bit. Well, no, that's not what happened. What happened was when you placed the wedding ring on the individual's finger, they now had a license to abuse you. They now had a license behind closed doors to do whatever they wanted to you, financially, intellectually, spiritually, physically, any way they wanted to. And they were abusing you more and more. And when you were in the relationship, you were trying to get back to that happy stage, the euphoric stage, when you thought things were great and things were all puppies and unicorns. Remember, that was on purpose. You were manipulated, you were taken advantage of, you were duped, you were tricked, you were trapped. You were not supposed to ever figure out who the narcissist was. But other prices to pay to acquire the knowledge, you will have to spend many sleepless nights alone. Yes, alone, because you will either A, be isolated or self-isolate. And there's a big difference between being isolated, which I'll explain, and self-isolating. Being isolated is when you could be in the relationship with the narcissist, but they're not communicating with you. In other words, maybe you're sitting on the couch with them, they're sitting right next to you, but they're not paying attention to you. And you feel isolated. You feel more alone when you're sitting next to the narcissist than you did when you were alone. That's one small example. Another way is when you're isolated, you could be at an event, a barbecue or something with the narcissist. Well, when you went to that barbecue, were they walking 30 feet in front of you? Yes, they were, because they're trying to get away from you to appear single. And then they got their supply from people at the barbecue, and they met old friends, they made new friends, and they were the flavor of the month, just getting everyone's new phone number. Some of those people turned out to be new sources of supply. You didn't know it, but you were with them. But were they present with you? Of course not. They were out scanning the room or scanning the environment, and they were doing anything but spending time with you. Spending quality time does not exist with the narcissist. Another example, when you were isolated, very simple one, or triangulated, whatever you want to say, when you went out to dinner or lunch with the narcissist, what would they be doing? They would make it a short window of time because they just want to give you a little sliver of their time, or they would be late, or they would be paying more attention to the wait staff or people around them than you, or they would be on their smartphone, or they would say that they had to leave early. They would be doing anything but checking in on you and seeing how your day was going. They would give you lip service. Understand these things. But the point being, other prices to pay to acquire the knowledge will be that you will have to really, and self-isolation, by the way, what that is that's when you post-narcissistic relationships, specifically when you're healing, you just don't want to be around people. It's because you're entering the new version of you, not the third version, but a new version of you, and there's a huge void. You no longer have the narcissist smothering you with your time, meaning you have to give them all your time. Now there's a huge void. You have to fill that, and self-isolation is how you fill it. And believe me, it's not a fun thing to go through, but we all go through it. Another thing, another price to pay to acquire the knowledge is to understand that on this planet, there is goodness and there is not goodness. And not everyone thinks the way you think. They really don't. Many people are in competition with you, whether you know it or not. Many people don't want you to succeed, whether you know it or not. Many people don't want you to be the person you are being. Think about it. It's so true. Many people will tell you A, B, and C, and then they will do X, Y, and Z. That is an individual whose actions are not matching up with their words. That is what a narcissist does. Think about what I'm sharing with you. The message here is powerful and it's instrumental because there are many prices to pay to acquire the knowledge. I will fast forward and let you know something. Again, you can read all the books you want to, you can watch all the videos, you can do whatever you want to on the healing path. But the point is, if you haven't experienced narcissistic abuse firsthand, you don't know what you are talking about. Now, again, you may have read the books, watched the videos, and you may think you know everything there is to know about narcissism. Well, first of all, no one knows everything. We all have our different takes and opinions on it. That's what makes the world go round. But the point is, there's a huge separation between an individual saying that they know about narcissistic abuse and an individual who has experienced it. The individual who has experienced it, unfortunately, trumps by light years any individual who claims they know about it. Now remember, in life, there's a thing called book smarts and street smarts. If you're book smart, that means you probably got straight A's throughout school because you can study and you know how to memorize and read things and learn them that way. That's great. God bless you. Street smarts are something a little bit different. That means that you have perhaps experienced things in the outside world or the real world, and now you know how the world operates, and you can't learn that in a book. Now, equate that to the narcissistic abusive cycle. If you've gone through it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You speak the same language as I do because you went through it. If you didn't go through it, God bless you. You're fortunate. My hope is that you never go through it, but you shouldn't be claiming that you understand everything about it because you can be book smart, but if you didn't go through it, there are so many nuances that you would never be able to fathom, let alone wrap your head around, that an individual who experienced it can get in a second. So having said all those things, that is another price to pay for the knowledge. You will have to have gone through it. You can't just say you went through it, and you can't know what another individual has experienced unless you've gone through it. Now, I hammered that point home because it's completely true. Example, if you believe that reading a book is going to teach you everything about narcissism or narcissistic abuse or toxicity, no. What that will do is that will give you a more well-rounded education and or understanding of something that you have not experienced. If you've gone through it, you could write down 30 books in probably about a month, and they would all be of your experiences, and each and every one of these would be unique to you, but yet we've all experienced the same ones if we've gone through it. Get the message. There's a huge difference between book smart and street smart. So, having said all these things, there are huge prices to pay to acquire the knowledge. Understanding that your support system wasn't what you thought it was, the financial drain of the relationship, the health changes in your life. In other words, when you were in the relationship, I'm certain your health took a hit, which is a big one. Maybe you had skin rashes, or maybe you developed some circumstances, let's put it that way. Maybe you lost weight, gained weight, who knows? But I can assure you this one, and if you take away one nugget of wisdom from this video, this should be it. That the further you get away from the relationship with the narcissist, the more your health should return. It should improve. And I am living proof it certainly did with me. But when you are in the relationship, your health does anything but improve. It usually deteriorates from the pressure, from the stress, from the gaslighting, from the inavailability or the inaccountability of the narcissist, from the narcissist laying on the gas more and more and more and pressuring you to doing things and having you tolerate the abuse behind closed doors, many times in front of people, including triangulation, gaslighting, the smear campaign, being given the silent treatment for days, weeks, months on end. All these things add up over time, and they equate to death by 1,000 paper cuts. Every single day you are in this relationship with the narcissist, it is draining you, whether you know it or not. And I can assure you, a price to pay to acquire the knowledge was your health. It took a hit, I can assure you. And once you removed yourself from the relationship, I can almost assure you that your health returned. Maybe not to back the way it was before you met the narcissist, maybe, but the point is it should have improved. It really should have. So remember, with the narcissistic relationship, there are many different levels. These include mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, intellectual. There are so many nuances upon nuances and layers of the onion to peel back post-narcissistic relationship that not everybody has one size. Let's put it this way, not everyone knows everything about it. It's impossible, there's no way. And your experiences may be similar to mine, but yet different, and vice versa. That's the way it works. But again, that's what makes you you. The point is, you are out of the relationship. You are learning, you are growing, you are teaching if you can. You're becoming educated and awakened. You're understanding your value. These are all huge things that you could not do when you were in the relationship. And understanding your worth and your value is huge, because when you were in the relationship with the narcissist, they weren't telling you anything positive about yourself unless they needed something. They weren't apologizing. They wanted to continue to press that gas pedal down and have your resources become as depleted as possible before they perhaps discarded you or ended the relationship and went on to another unsuspecting source of supply. So before I close the video, I'll just let you know there are huge prices to pay to acquire the knowledge. And if you've made it this far in the video, drop comments below, help the newbies out, share your wisdom and experience with the community. All you veterans, please help out, pay it forward. Because remember, at one point you were a newbie. You did not know what you were up against, and you found my channel, and here you are. So if you would, please drop comments. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand there are many prices to pay to acquire the knowledge. And if this day for you is a challenging day and you believe you can't go forward and you're having a very difficult day, understand that tomorrow will be better. The sun will rise. It will be a new day, a new test for you, if you will, a new way to understand more and more about the relationship. Continue to move forward each and every day. Continue to take action, if not now, when. Begin living your best life. If you can, go no contact, block the narcissist, remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them. I understand many people can't do that. Then utilize gray rock, just become boring. But no matter what, conserve your energy for yourself, because there is a price to pay to acquire the knowledge. Guys, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that, you are not alone. God bless you, I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye you guys.